Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway, and in the driveway is a
You know what time it is! You know what time it is! That's right, it's the Double Trouble Show. Man, I'm so amped. I'm so excited, you guys. Man, I'm so excited. This is going to be just electric, all right? Don't bring the matches because it's going to be straight gasoline and it's going to be fire. All right, we've got a great show today. We've got a great show. All right, normally I have my doppelganger, my twin brother with me. I don't have him today. He's all the way in Abu Dhabi, all right? Across the pond, as they say, but I'm going to have a co-host. I've got a co-host, and you might see him, all right, or you might have seen him already. He's going to be familiar because this guy, he and I go live. He's almost like a brother to me, all right? Nick, all right? He's a guy that I go live with every day on TikTok, and he's going to be my co-host. All right, so I'm so excited to have him co-host on my podcast, The Double Trouble Show. So I'm going to bring on Nick, all right? We always have some laughs and we always have some fun, all right? So here we go. I'm going to bring Nick on the podcast. Here we go, Nick. Are you ready? Buckle up. Buckle up, Buttercup. Here we go. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. Boom, baby.
I'm on my Tron bike.
Hey! Boom, baby!
I love the Tron bike.
How
Oh my god.
are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. It's Friday. It's Rockin' Friday. Freedom Friday.
Yeah, it's cool that way, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, good to be here. This is all new and it's exciting for sure.
Yes, it is. It's very exciting, man. I love it. I'm so excited to have you co-host with me. We've got a great guest. I'm super excited to interview Robbie. Um, Robbie has a lot of positive energy, and I think that a lot of people are going to love that about him. He does have a good aura, or he encourages people and stuff, and so it's going to be really fun having him on as a guest, right? What you like about him, though, Nick?
Well, first of all, I mean, we first came across Robbie on one of our lives, right? Because he came in and he popped in, and I was talking to him, and he told me I was originally from New York, and we were laughing about that, and just we hit it off straight away. And then he saw your big microphone compared to my small microphone, so I don't know where my microphone is. But the one thing I did do before this live is I finished my tea, so I couldn't spill it on my laptop. So I was really pleased, and he always puts in positive comments and things like that into the remarks, and it's always good, when you got that, especially in lives, because they dip, right? You get a lot of people first, and then some people wander off, and then they come back, and it moves in those waves. But yeah, he stayed the whole course. So awesome. Absolutely awesome, man. Excited. Questions? I don't know.
Yeah.
Mostly off the cuff.
Exactly. But let's bring him on. And let's hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. All right, bear with me. I'm gonna bring him on. We're gonna do a very, very special VIP intro. Okay.
Cool.
All right, here we go. Boom! What is up? What is up, Robbie?
Hey!
How's everything, man? Good to see you. Good to see you everyone.
Right-hand corner. That's well planned from the start.
Cool.
That's
we're going to musical chairs a little bit. I'm going to put you where I'm at, okay?
Okay, yeah, no problem. No problem at all. My head feels so big. It takes up the whole box, like, you know what I mean? Like,
at least you don't have a growth coming out.
Right. Good to see you guys.
And you.
No problem, man. I'm going to move you over here. Hold on. But tell us a little bit about your story. Let us know where you're from, where you grew up. Give us a little background.
Okay, so I grew up in the Bronx, New York for, I'd say, the first 12 years of my life. After that, I moved to Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania. This is where I grew up, and was there until 27, 28, something like that. I'm not gonna lie, the first job I had was at 29, being coddled from my mom the whole time. I had these dreams of being a rapper, but definitely was one of those type of people that have fantasies but don't do the necessary work to make the fantasy a reality. Pie in the sky dreams. It's like seeds. You can't just be, people sit on their couch all day. Dude, what are you doing? Like, go out and work. You know what I mean? You can't just sit on your couch and manifest. What does that even mean? You know what I mean? So my first job was DoorDash. My second job, my second job was Lyft. I I did Lyft when after having 6 months driving experience, which God just bust that door wide open for me because you're not even supposed to be a Lyft driver until you have 1 year driving experience. Somehow I got in with 6 months. I don't know how, but God is awesome like that sometimes. You know what I mean? I mean, all the time. But you know what I mean? After that, did some Uber. I made like $75,000 2 years in a row. My best month was like $12,000. My best week was like 3,500. But I was always thinking like, dang, this got to be an online business or something. Because when I made 12,000 in a month, I worked When I made 12,000 in a month, I worked 360 hours. So that's 12 hours every day, 30 days straight, no days off. And I was like, and, you know, because I was on a quest to see what's possible. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, I got a lot done, but how can I make 12 grand without working 360 hours for the month? You know what I mean? So I was always intrigued with online businesses and stuff and trying to make sales and stuff. Like, because I know sales is the highest paying job in the world, you know, because I think of like the iPhone and stuff like that. They sold 1 billion units and it's like, you know, and I just learned a lot about money. I used to want to be rich for no reason, but I've learned that if you are a millionaire, the money that you made is in direct proportion to the amount of people that you served. So like I write music. If I want to take a $10 rap CD, if I take a $10 CD and I serve 100,000 people, I'm now a millionaire, but it's because it's in proportion to the people I've served that I've created a product and it's been useful to 100,000 people. And that makes me a millionaire, you know? And then I started to really understand money and I was like, wow, you got to create a product or you got to create value for the marketplace. And as far as motivational speaking, I used to be suicidal, like over some girl that I really love. I didn't know how to handle like giving out so much love and not receiving it back. I struggled with entitlement. You know, sending out a text message, they read it, they don't reply. Now you feel entitled, like they should respond, and you know, stuff like that. So I had to battle a lot of internal like issues, and you know, started listening to people like Jordan Peterson, Dan Mohler, and they just taught me how to like rewire my brain, you know, because we act the way we do because of like the software that's running, you know, the OS system basically. And it's like until you get a new operating system, like you're going to default into like if you're impulsively angry or if you're always depressed or if you're always this, like you have to unlearn and relearn new habits and stuff. So and I've always been ever since 12 years old, I used to read quotes. I used to I used to read quotes and stuff. I remember my 7th grade teacher, she cried because in 7th grade I was writing at a college level. I just didn't understand why that was so special. I was like, it's just an essay, dude. Like, why are you crying? Like, but like, yeah, articulated speech, I'm obsessed with it. And it makes you a superpower. Like it makes you, you know, I don't know, like it's like giving sight to the blind. You know what I mean? They think about when you say something that makes someone think. They say, "Oh, the light bulb cut on." Like it dawned on me. I was blind, but now I see. Like the light turned on. I used to be in the dark, but now I'm not. Like these are metaphors that they use, but I'm not so sure how much of a metaphor it is because when you're lost, you're actually in the dark until a light comes on. And, you know, we're meant to be the light of the world. So, yeah. And if I were to summarize my mission statement, last point is like if I get on stage and speak, it would pretty much be the serenity prayer. That's what I want to teach people, which is God teach me what I could control, what I cannot control, and the wisdom to know the difference between the two. Because I used to always try to control things that are not controllable by me. Like I send you a text message, you don't respond, and I can't make you respond. You know what I mean? And I've learned that, you know, life is like chess, and I used to spend time on other people's side of the chessboard trying to move their pieces for them. And it's like, dude, like this is why people got up and didn't want to play the game with me, because I could only move my pieces and then you move your pieces accordingly. And if we don't like how the other person plays, we could just go get up and play with someone else, but I can't be moving your pieces. You know what I mean? So I've learned to stop doing that. But there was a time when I did nothing but that, try to move someone else's pieces. And yeah, I'm dedicated to helping people see a new perspective and for them not to be so sad or angry or you know, or to come to the conclusion that God made you an angry person, a depressed person, because it might have been like that for 20 years, but the next 20 years could be different if only you knew how to make a difference in your life and view through a different lens. You know what I mean? So I'm dedicated to trying to help people find that way, you know, for themselves.
That's true. I mean, the first thing two things that struck me straight off from that intro was serving people. If you're a rapper, you serve 100,000 people, but also what you're talking about is pattern changes, which is similar to what Tony Robinson was talking about, how we're going to change our mindset. Yeah. But I think that you see it as much as I do is you got to tell people, but it's like the old adage, I can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, you know? And that's the thing is how do you keep going if you know you got good advice to give someone and they're just not following up on it, and it's kind of like, what do I do?
Right.
You
Well,
need
I
to-
think, yeah, my answer to that, number one, is I can't get frustrated at these people because I know pattern change takes a lot. They have to be more committed to their own change than I'm committed to like nudging them all day. I read a quote the other day. It was like, God forbid if I have to get you to do what you're supposed to be doing, because all I'm gonna do is annoy you and frustrate myself
right.
if I'm trying to get you to do what you're supposed to do. So you definitely have to when I started watching content that changed the way I think, I had to binge watch it. I watched over 10,000 hours of motivational speakers and like different insight and different like ways of thinking. And I met someone yesterday she said, "Hey, I applied what you taught me yesterday. I was doing good until this morning, and then I reverted back into my old ways." And it's like it's going to take a lot of mental conditioning, because the same way that you work out with weights, it might be hard to lift 100 pounds, but that conditioning, so I guess I'm out here trying to teach people how to do mental push-ups and mental sit-ups. You know what I mean? After the conditioning, you could lift more weight, then you could do 150. All of a sudden now you're benching 225, 300 effortlessly. So it comes from the repeat of changing a pattern. I think it takes, what they say, between 30 and 90 days to create a new pattern. And that's the start. And then after that, you got to maintain the pattern that you've created. So it's definitely a process. And the person I met yesterday, they was frustrated with themselves today because they didn't instantaneously change. And I had to let them know, like, gently, like, you might revert back to your old ways, but if you keep exposing yourself to the information that's life changing, it's a matter of time before you start patterning like a new mode of being and start operating differently. So it's just overexposing yourself to new material, in my opinion. And I can't instill that in someone. They have to be inspired to do it. So I could I know as a motivational speaker, people are going to say, "Hey, you changed my life." But it's like, hey, I only said words and then you applied them to your life. Like, I said what I was led to say, because there's a bunch of people that might have heard the same message and for whatever reason, they don't change their life, So,
Right.
but it's like you participated in your own rescue because I threw you a lifeline and you actually grabbed onto it. So if anything, you saved your life because you could have chose to drown, I guess, like a lot of people do. So,
Right.
yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, I don't know what the actual days it is to change, but I know it's quite a few. But
Yeah.
I think, is if someone's willing to make a change for, let's just use a number for the sake of it, 12 days, they're going to be on the right track. Yes, especially when they realize they go back to their old norm and
Right.
they beat themselves up about it. But it's controlling that beating up, isn't it? So you don't become so harsh on yourself that you
Right.
actually revert back to something before,
Right.
which is the change that you're trying to change. But so what kind of things would you say to people if we look at digital marketing and obviously the line of business? What gems would you say to people that are listening now to help change the mindset? Because obviously we talk about mindset a lot, and
Right.
it does have a impact. And second, as another example, I don't know if it's manifest or if it's mindset, but what would you say would be a couple of things or exercises that people could do that are watching, saying, "Okay, I'm in the digital marketing. I'm in a foggy haze at the moment. Nothing seems to be moving. I'm not making any sales. People aren't gravitating to my content." What would you say would be crucial or gems or something like that to help?
Crucial to get them going.
Right.
So like when you plant a tree into the ground, I have no idea how long it takes, but I'm sure it's more than 90 days. You're probably standing out in the field watering it for quite some time and people looking at you crazy like, dude, ain't nothing sprout by now. Like maybe you might want to give up on that plant. You just, the thing you just put in the soil, and it's like you might have to water it for a year. You might have to, and then everybody's time frame is different. Sometimes we analyze who got there further than us and feel discouraged by someone else's progression. And that's the worst thing that we could do, because it might take a year for us. But because it happened in 2 months for someone else, we draw comparisons between them and ourselves. And sometimes we're like, well, if I can't do it in 2 months. But what's crazy is we'll commit ourselves to a job for 20 years that we hate, and that seems to not be a problem, but you won't commit yourself to like a year and a half trying. So I don't understand that. But I guess I could draw from, here's an actual example of someone commented on my page. I was presenting the business opportunity, and someone said, I said, drop the word me in the comment section if you're interested. The person literally said me, even though I think this is a scam. And I said, look, the most important thing that you said in your sentence was the word me. Like, you might have ended your sentence with cynicism, but you began it with optimism. You said me because you're hoping to God this is legit, because you probably don't like your finances. You probably do want to change. You're hoping that this is a legitimate business. And the side of you that was strong enough to even comment is the side of you that's dominating, at least at the moment, because you dropped a comment. So obviously you're interested. You know, the website link is in the bio. But as kindly as I could, I responded with a video to that question. And I was like, look, you want to believe that this is real. And then I gave a story about myself, because the first network marketer to inspire me was a guy named Darren Fryer. Shout out to Darren Fryer. His last name is Fryer. He was doing a business in 2014 called Wake Up Now. You could probably still even find the video to this day that inspired me. He used to say, I'm 22 years old and I'm retired. I've never heard someone construct a sentence like that one. And I'm like, 22 and retired. And I kept listening, and I'm like, he's talking about 20,000, 30,000 a month. And I remember I was scared to think that it's not possible for him, because if I thought that, what I'm saying is I'm disqualifying myself. Because if I can't see it for myself, I'm going to deny the possibility for you, for that person, for everyone else. So when we say it's a scam, really what we're saying is it's not possible for me. And, you know, I just didn't want to do that, because like now, if it was ever possible to make 40,000 a month, I'm robbing myself of the opportunity by being cynical. And I think everyone seems to be cynical of everything except their own cynicism. They never question for a second that maybe their assumptions are wrong. They just go with it automatically. So to the people that are in online business, if you're getting discouraged, if you're sowing seeds and you feel like nothing's coming out of the ground, you have to keep planting, because the alternative is you keep the crap job and you stay there 20 years, 30 years, retire with a pension or social security. And that's not enough. Now you unretire, got to go back to work, got to work at Walmart. It breaks my heart when I see 75-year-olds at Walmart with a "Can I help you" sign. It's like, dude, you're old. Can you help me? Can I help you? You know what I mean? Like, you can't help me. Like, obviously you need help. You're 75, you're still at Walmart. Like, no disrespect to these people, but I'm saying, like, and they're only doing it because they have to. Obviously they don't want to. So I would say you got to keep the end goal in mind and just keep watering those seeds. You know, some plants grow quicker than others, but don't study other people's plant. Just keep watering yours.
I love that, Jem, with the scam, because we get that a lot, you know, as you do.
Yeah.
And, you know, so it doesn't work for me. I think that's invaluable. I think that's a really cool gold nugget just there. But it's funny from a mindset point of view, is that through my life, before I found the online business, is I started a construction company just as a handyman to start off with. And everyone was saying to me, Nick, there's so much competition, there's so much this, there's so much that. And I just had this F you attitude that if I did what everyone told me, then I'd remain where I was. And I've always said, who am I in competition with? Me, no one else. And anyway, so the first year I was out there, got my name out there, I earned, I'll be honest, just under $10,000. Are you getting the feedback here?
Yeah. I do hear feedback loop.
So then the second year, it exploded. And I got people in, and I was
amazing.
I was getting phone calls without even advertising. It was insane.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was earning really good money, and I was just about to expand even more. And then, you know, medical issues happened, which is unfortunate. But it is. You know, I look at my state of mind then to where it is now, and there's a marked difference. But I don't know if that is that mindset, is that manifestation, is that what would you put that down to?
Yeah. Are you talking about the fact that your business thrived and you stayed on it no matter what people were saying, or the lack of results in the beginning?
I wasn't worried about the lack of results in the beginning, because I knew that was going to happen anyway, and I had a plan B to help me get through to pay the bills, as you do. But second, third year and everything, it was just unbelievable. And to think that if I had listened to someone, I would have been working for someone else for a wage. Where now I'm creating my own wealth, and I was doing really well. And then
Awesome.
You know, I had a damn heart attack got in the way.
Cool.
So
Oh
that,
my
Still here,
gosh.
man. Glad
so
you're still here.
that took me back.
We are. I'm still.
It would have
I'm glad you're
took
here
me back.
too.
Oh my God. But yeah, but when I look now, because obviously other things have changed in my life as well, but I just look at my overall, how I was, how I carried myself, how my thought process was, then was a lot of things. Everything had to make money. Every dollar had to make money. If it was buying a tool, it was an investment for the future job. If it was, spare cash, it was invested or whatever. Everything had to have a return, and just everything around me was just win-win. I never lost a contract. Never got a no. And even though I knew I was competing against other people, which I knew were really good.
And I think that's the difference. I think that's the difference between you and other people. They're counting the cost of starting. You're counting the cost of giving up prematurely before you see results or whatever. Like, and you was like, you're probably in your mind, you knew that I'm going to pay a cost either way. Either I pay a cost by not trying and I work for somebody that I dislike working for, or I pay the cost of trying something that may work. I'd rather try to pay that cost. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are paying the cost of regret when they're 75, 85. I think what do they say? People regret most what they didn't do, not the mistake that they made. You know, so it's like we're always paying a cost. It's just like, what price do you wanna pay? Like, I'll tell you a story about me. I used to live in my car for 3.5 years on purpose. I used to shower at Planet Fitness. I kept my clean clothes in the trunk. And I know that's weird. The reason I didn't want an apartment is because I know that sometimes I battle with the spirit of like laziness. And I knew that I was probably going to buy a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, 3, 4, 5, Xbox, entertain myself to no end, have an apartment where I go to work just enough to get by, go home, play video games. And probably like, I don't want to lose that ambition. So every day that I woke up in a car, it was a constant reminder, I don't want this when I'm 70. So something about waking up in a car, psychologically, what it did for me, I was always trying different business opportunities. I was always trying to figure out, how can I get rich? How can I do this? And, you know, for me, I didn't know how to light a fire under my ass. So I had to like artificially create it where I'm always motivated. And my stepdad is like, you know, do you not want an apartment, or do you want, and I wish I could explain to him, like, whether I buy an apartment or not, you can't avoid paying a cost. You just choose what price do you want to pay. So you pay the cost of having an apartment, $1,000 a month, whatever that is. I used to drive 200 miles a day. So gas was costing me $1,500 a month anyways. It's like I was paying for an apartment anyways, or I'm paying the cost of living in my car. But if it's motivating me to try to become great for my family, because, you know, my financial goals is $1,000 a day. And I have people that are counting on me. I feel like I'm one of the few people in my family that have potential to be massively rich. And I think it'd be disrespectful to my lineage if I don't at least try. You know what I mean? So I get talked out of ideas all the time, but it's like, if I stop, I'll be basic like you guys. No disrespect to y'all, but I'm better. I'm meant to be better than what y'all settle for. I'm not better than you guys. I'm better than the mediocrity that you settle for. You know what I mean? So I think people are always paying a cost, and the difference between you and others, you knew what cost you prefer to pay and you took that route. Other people think it's too costly and they don't even begin. That's what I think.
That's true. You know, it is true. And it's you know, you certainly got to have that will. And people that know me really well back in the UK would never be surprised with, they've always said, you've never been a corporate guy, you've been a solo. You've always been that go out, do something, you know,
right.
Even in corporations, you know, you work in companies, and it makes me laugh. And I'm sure a lot of people listening in, if they work for companies, they work for people that the company would not survive without me. Well, guys, ladies, bullshit. There's only three people at the top.
Can 10,000 at the bottom.
Exactly. And they're earning 7 figures. The rest of us, I don't care how much you're earning. You know, even if you're in a healthy 6 figures, you're disposable. And they don't have that. And I've always had that knowledge and attitude, and maybe feet on the ground, that basically you have to be prepared. You're not the only one that keeps that company going. But, you know, I don't know, even when I was in the corporate world, it was, I always wanted to be the best. So I sat next to the best achievers or the highest achievers. I always did this.
Same.
And you know, that's the way to learn. And then what I also used to do was after a while, and I got comfortable with that, I'd sit with people that were the worst.
Yeah.
And the reason for that was I wanted to learn from their mistakes to make sure that what they were doing, I never did it.
Just like me. I'm similar to you in so many ways. Growing up, I was surrounded by the spirit of anger, people that impulsively get mad over everything. And I was like, let me stay far the hell away from that spirit, because I don't want that in my life. Like, I'm sure you could tell I'm not an angry person at all. You could probably tell it's hard to make me angry. Like, you know what I mean? And like a softness, gentleness. And it's just, I was scared to become them. And, you know, I used to dislike people in my family very strongly, but I thank God for them, because they veered me away from the path that I didn't want to be on. And similar to you, you study people that are greater than you, and people that are worse than you. Like, so I've studied people that they have personality types that I don't want to duplicate into myself. And then I've studied motivational speakers, where it's like, it's so phenomenal hearing these people speak. I would just listen to hours and hours, and to the point where I start structuring my sentence like they do, unconsciously, like not even trying to, like, you know what I mean? It's just you know, and I've been telling people lately, I think failure is just the imitation of the incorrect things, and success is imitation of the right things. So we got to find what to imitate. Life is imitation. You know, what are we imitating, or what are we modeling? There's this quote that says, figure out where broke people hang out and don't go there. Figure out what broke people talk about and don't have those conversations. And then figure out what rich people are doing. And if you want to be rich, join that conversation, or start thinking like them, talking like them. So it's all about the trajectory of where you want to be, and trying to model your style after someone who's already made it, because they're probably the most qualified to teach you how to get there. Like, if someone's a phenomenal speaker, why not take notes on them? You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's all about studying. I think Jim Rohn, I posted something today, I'll send it to you, Nick, but he said, if you don't have happiness, study happiness, make it a study. If you don't have finances, study finances. He said, don't leave it up to chance. You have to study the things that would change your life. Like, if you struggle with mental health, like, I used to be so sad. I went on YouTube and I typed in tutorial video, how to be happy 101. Like, it was that level of depression where it was like, dude, I don't know how to be happy, man. Like, I Googled it, I YouTubed, I watched lots of people's stories, what they had to overcome. And it did something for me. It started my path to learning how to find happiness for myself. But I had to listen to other people speak, because I was always sad all the time. You know what I mean? So it's all about changing the patterns, as Tony Robbins would say. He's a legend, by the way. I love him.
He's good. I mean, did you watch the last thing he did, which is it Rise to the Summit or something? What was it?
I've seen those. Yeah, I've seen those before, but I haven't seen the latest one. But I'll check it out though.
It's definitely, yeah. I've got to watch the last one, but I'll take ownership for this. On the first and second videos, you know, I was jumping up, even though it's on YouTube and I was watching the rehash from it. I was still jumping up and down and yelling and screaming and doing all that. And you know, in the second video, I was crying at some points.
Wow.
And it was so powerful. And I thought, you know, wow, I've never been that affected by someone, and watching it on YouTube. So I'm not even at the event, and I was tearing up because I recognized so much of what he said, and I think a lot of it was leaving me, and it's starting this growth. I've got to watch the third one, but it started this growth. And I was even talking to Jared about it with this new program that we're relaunching. And to recap on some of the things people have heard me say time and time again is it's going to fill those gaps of knowledge that I feel as if I was lacking. And some of the stuff coming out, and I said to Jared, I'm going to do it down to the full stop, or period, as you say in the US.
Right.
And I feel so strongly that it's going to lead to success. But I have to go through that process. And I'm going to enjoy it.
Amen.
I'm committed to enjoy it. I've committed to, even if it means working late and not watching Netflix, but everything I'm watching on Netflix, even now, is, and I've said to this to Jared before, is that I'm watching all this sports stuff, all this, and it's all about winning. It's all about, I'm just picking up these gems, and it's about mindset. It's about dedication, discipline, all of that, and looking past the let's just turn up.
Yeah.
They call it the couch wealthy that aren't fucking wealthy.
Right. Yeah.
The only bill they get is around their stomach and then a huge medical bill. But I mean, it's like, but it is, the couch potato for sports.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got to get invested. You've got to get committed, as our mentor would say, is
Right.
you just got to commit yourself. I look at, when I was in construction, I'm still in it. But when I first started, I was working construction. I was learning construction. I was watching shows on construction. And my ex-wife was like, haven't you had enough? I'm like, no, more. Give me more. And
Mo.
because it is. But it's like, going back to your earlier comment, Robbie, is I feel like crying when I see those people that are in their 70s and 80s that have worked so friggin' hard and they're greeters at Walmart. And just want to be able to say, what can I do for you, bud? How can I get you out of this shithole? You shouldn't be doing this at your age, and some of them are on the edge of that, generation of the brave, which makes it even harder for me because I serve for my country, and anyone that's done service in any form, I have so much respect for, and I wouldn't want that for anyone.
Right. Yeah.
So,
it's sad to watch. Yeah. And a lot of people, I don't know. And then, there was a situation, there's somebody I know who, I think they was 6 months away from retiring, and then they extended it by 4 years or 3 months away. And then they extended it randomly. And it's like, dang, like he was right on the brink. And then all of a sudden they roll out a new company policy. And it's like, there's nothing you could do. And and he works in a hospital and stuff. And it's like,
wow.
Yeah, man. What I've learned about finances is either we complain about price or we make more money. That's the only options that we have, man. Like, and it's better to figure out how to make more money because Walmart's not interested in paying us more. No job is coming to save us. It doesn't matter if Biden becomes president. No one cares about your life. It's the truth. It's like, you got to fix your life. If you think Trump really cares, if you I want to make $1,000 a day. You think Biden is coming here to ensure that? Like, no, like I got to go out and get it.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Boom! Value bomb right there. Value bomb.
that was a value bomb. That was awesome. I love that. Look at that. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I love that. What a nugget. Don't you complain about the price, or what was it again? Complain about the price.
So as humans, we have two options. We either complain about price or we make more money.
That's a friggin' nugget.
Oh, no ball. Oh, it's going up again.
And
I love that nugget.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because if you notice, we fall into either category. If you're an investor, you're not thinking about price. Even if you're broke, you're not thinking about price. You're like, yo, one day it's not going to matter. You're like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't like, sometimes I'm at the gas station and people are complaining about the price and they're looking at me like they want me to agree with their sentiment on how high the price is. It's like, dude, what do you want me to do? Go on strike and not get gas? I need the gas. Whatever the price is, I have to pay it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just, and those that are complaining about price are trying to reduce their expenses, and they think that that's going to save them, or they're trying to save their way into, nothing wrong with saving. It's good to save, but the US dollar is depreciating 2%. Give me a second. It's depreciating 2% on a yearly basis. Well, what that means is that I think in 20 years, 10,000 is worth 6,000, according to inflation. So it's like, even when you try to save your way out of poverty, inflation puts you right back there. You know what I'm saying? So, we complain about price because inflation is outpacing us. If we start outpacing inflation, we won't complain about price anymore. If you start making $1,000 a day, 600 a day, 800 a day, you will never complain about price. I had a friend who, she complained about her electric bills like 150, 200. And I was like, look, if you had 20,000 in your bank right now, would you care about this $200 bill? She said, no. I said, all right, then the problem is not that you have a $200 bill. The problem is that you're broke. Fix the being broke part so that you could, get whatever type of bill, and it doesn't matter what the price tag is on it because you're living abundantly now. So I think it's better to aim towards abundance than try to hold on to crumbs. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So complain about the price, or
we either complain about price or we make more money. Those are our options.
That I'm writing down because that's a video.
Yeah, that is a video.
I love it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Awesome.
Boom!
I want to.
Oh!
I want.
Do that
I
again.
want to take a quick second to thank both of you. Like, thank you so much.
That's a
you.
value bomb.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for like having me. I'm not saying that I gotta go, by the way. I have as much time as if you guys need 40 more minutes, I'm here. So whatever. But I do want to say thank you so much for having me on. I hope that this podcast is, worth your time. I'm doing my best to give you guys as much value as I can, So
Well, let me read out some of the comments that are coming through. So bear with me 1 sec on TikTok.
You got it. Yeah.
Any paid from, is it Marjolin? Yes, Tony did one this week. Oh, so Tony did one this week. Okay. So thank you very much, Marjolin, if you're pronouncing it right. If I'm not, I really, really apologize.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
Phil's
butcher people's names. I butcher names all the time.
The elderly people, been there 24 years in corporate world. And seeing, people that shouldn't be working, and I read a lot about financial stuff as well, and they're saying the average income across the US now to, quote, survive comfortably without being excessive is $162,000 a year.
Wow.
When it used to be $40,000.
Yeah, I was going to say it used to be much less. Wow.
So, but I've always had this mantra that things always go up, because it just as you're saying, Robbie, things go up. We can't rely on the investments and things like that in the stock market, but as we all know, that stock market go up and down and things like that. And I'm reading more and more and more about the millennials and others that aren't investing in the stock market, which is going to be interesting because they're going more into real estate. And yes, real estate is just going through the roof, but they're also investing in gold. They're also investing in all the things that my father said to me, don't invest in. And I used to argue with him, like, I should, but I listened to him and I was like, man. Like, we both bought shares in a company, a really good insurance company called the Norwich Union in the UK. And I bought a stack load of shares. My father bought some shares, and we were talking about it. And I started to read up about it because at that time in my life, I was also account managing the merchant bank. So your JP Morgan, your not Pricewaterhouse, their accountancy, but Goldman Sachs, all those people who were brutal, absolutely brutal. But I learned so much from them. And so to the point that I actually wanted to be a stockbroker. So I went to go and study for it. I failed and gave up because it's too complicated. But it's the only thing I've walked away from. And I was like, no, I can't do this. I just couldn't. But I studied finance. I started to read all these magazines. It was ridiculous, So anyway, long story short, I said to my father, all right, let's see. And then some things were happening in this company.
Right. And
and I said, Dad, hold on to your shares. Hold on to your shares. There's going to be a merger. There's going to be this. There's going to be that. And that wasn't talking to the stockbrokers. It's just through reading the right thing. Mm-hmm. And he was like, no, son, sell them now. So he sold them. I held out.
And who became the victor?
And I made a fortune.
Nice.
So my dad was like, oh. I said, Dad, you're the accountant.
Here. Yeah.
On, man. So, but when I say fortune, it wasn't big fortune. It was enough. It was enough to beat my dad, which was great. But it was
enough to brag at Christmas and Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, absolutely. And he didn't say a word because he was a very bright man. Unfortunately, he passed, one of the greatest men in my life. But he was always pretty right in his assertions with what's going to go on with the money markets and things like that. But yeah, anyway, slightly digressing. What happened to you, buddy?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I had some technical issues, so I swapped laptops. I'm using my MacBook right now. I was using my Windows Surface laptop, and I was having some technical issues. This podcast is so big, and it's drawing so much power. My Windows Surface laptop couldn't take it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, Marjolin, when you say it's a cycle, what do you mean by that? So I'm just asking someone a question. What's the cycle?
Maybe they mean the perpetual cycle of debt or the cycle of mindset or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That
That's
could
what
be.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to find out. But yeah.
So my question that I'd like to ask you, Robbie, is, Nick already, I think he alluded to the fact that our mentor, Michelle O'Neill, talks a lot about the CEO mindset. And it's really important to stay balanced with your mindset, right? So what would be, what's some advice that you'd like to give to people to stay balanced? Because it's impossible to be positive 100% of the time. It's our brains just don't work that way. What would be some things that you'd like to suggest, or what kind of advice would you like to give so that you can at least stay balanced?
Good
Right.
question.
I guess the first place my mind goes to is content creation. If you are a person who wants to drop YouTube videos, but you won't because Sally Pants 99 is going to say your editing sucks, drop the video anyways. And if you could train your mind to be empathetic towards negative comments, because these people, if they're trying to bully you, like I've noticed people that create the least, they criticize the most. It's like, dude, what if you something you created? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you criticize what I'm doing, but you got to have empathy towards these people because like they don't have any goals that they're working on, and they have nothing but time to go on your page and comment on your stuff and tell you you're full of crap or you're never gonna make it. And usually it's behind a unanimous profile that doesn't even have a picture.
User
You know what I
3,
mean?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right. It's like, dude, you didn't even username 1, 2, 3. What the heck? Like, you're a bot. Like, who cares what you have to say? So I'd say, just keep creating. And if you think that people at the top don't get negative comments now, go to Kim Kardashian's page, go to LeBron James, go to Steph Curry. All these, they still get negative comments. They still get, oh, you dropped the ball here, or oh, you did this, and so the hating never stops. But if you never start, like, you can never get to the top where the hate doesn't matter anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because those people at the top, they're still getting it now. They're still getting negative comments. So, I guess my mind took me there first because a lot of people struggle with that. They don't want to make content because someone's going to comment negatively, or they're worried about their parents or their friends being cynical. In terms of balance, like the next place my mind goes, there's definitely a balance between thinking you're a superstar when you're not and thinking you're the worst person in the world when you're not. So if you mean the balance between that, I would say, you're not a superstar. Like, let's say you want to play basketball. You think you're a superstar, but you can't shoot a single bucket. It's like, you got to have self-awareness, man. Like, you can't pick up a ball and say, I'm going to be the next LeBron James. Like, you could practice your skills. And if you suck at basketball, you don't even know how to dribble. You could go from not knowing the game to being pretty good at it. Does it mean that you're going to make the league? Probably not. Like, a lot of people are not going to. And a lot of people don't make the league, and it's like, that's why you gotta, like, when it comes to sports, some people want to be like a baseball player or something like that. It's like, I don't even like telling people to have a plan B because I always say go for your plan A. But sports might be one of those things where it's like, just in case, of course, give it all you got, but just in case, make sure you love something within sports, whether it's commentating or, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether it's, and then self-awareness. You can't. One thing that's important is community. You can't have a community of yes men that always tell you you're awesome no matter how terrible you are. It's like, you need people that's like, dude, that song sucks, dude. You think that's good? Like, you need people like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Like,
yeah. Go ahead.
So Robbie, like how many years back was this? But I don't know, 3 to 5 years ago at the NBA All-Star game, Fergie, okay, and I'm not hating on Fergie, okay,
yeah, right.
But she sang the national anthem. I don't know if you all remember this. Do you remember this, Nick? Robbie, you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
Somebody should have told her before she started, before she even decided to do that. Some of her, either her bandmates from the Black Eyed Peas or maybe one of her homegirls or homeboys. I don't know, but somebody should have said, this is a bad idea. This sounds horrible. Someone should have said that. You know what I mean? It was bad.
They could have.
The national.
Oh, go ahead, Nick. I apologize. You go first, Nick.
Was that at the Super Bowl or something?
It was at the NBA All-Star game, the halftime show of the NBA All-Star game. Yeah.
And she sang just terribly.
Oh my gosh! She tried to do it like in a different style, so it wasn't like she was trying to sing it normally. It was like she was trying to do it with some sort of weird style, like and just doing it really weird. Different levels and it's just
it wasn't harmonious.
No, the harmony was horrible. And again, I'm not hating on her, right?
Yeah.
I love Fergie. Like some people don't like the Black Eyed Peas. I'm a big fan. Not everybody. They're not everybody's cup of tea because some people think that they're kind of like a sellout in hip hop. Well, I like them. I actually bumped into what's his name from the Black Eyed Peas? The shorter guy? Oh my gosh. Anyway, I bumped into him in Las Vegas. Super nice guy.
Danny DeVito?
No, one of the guys from the Black Eyed Peas. Oh my god. Anyway, I'll remember his name later.
Shorty?
He is short, but I'm not. Hey, short guys are cool. Short guys are cool.
I know.
But anyway, Black Eyed Peas are dope. Okay, so it's nothing wrong with Fergie. She's Fergalicious, all right. She's all that, but it was just not a good experience. And I don't know if it took a dip in her pay after that. I don't know, but somebody should have said something. You know what I mean? Like, you're right. Your statement was spot on. Is that somebody should be honest with you? You know what I mean? You're in your circle of friends.
Right. And it's also good to have people that know how to have a nuanced conversation where they say, hey, I dislike the song, but this world has a plethora of people that may like it. Don't not release the song because I don't like it. Who the hell am I? I'm just a focus group of one person. Like 30 million people might like your song. Let me give you an example. Minecraft, if you guys know what the video game that is, it has no replay value to me, but somehow it became a 200 million.
I know. Horrible graphics.
I would have never, on paper, I would have been like, if I knew the Minecraft creator, I probably would have been like, dude, I don't think this is going to sell. Like, I'm just saying.
Right, I would have said the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not even trying, but I still would have encouraged him. Hey, if you believe in it, put it out. It's just that, I wouldn't play it. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it still baffles me that it's been so popular. It still is to this day.
And imagine if he listened to the negativity. He's short $300 million. You see what I mean? So, it's got to be humility. Definitely the humility has to balance out the pride. I don't know. So my views on pride. Sometimes I think people like Floyd Mayweather. He went, I think, 50 fights, 0 losses. I'd be bragging too. I'm not gonna lie, man. And
right.
But he's earned his bragging privileges because he's accomplished.
Sure.
Totally.
There's people that live at their mother's house and they're bragging. It's like, dude, what do you have to brag about? You're at your mom's crib, like.
My basement is the best basement ever, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it definitely, you won't have a balance if you don't have self-awareness. I've been really thinking, like, how can I teach people how to foster that? Because it's so important to internally analyze. And, for whatever reason, we always look outward, maybe because, your eyeballs are meant to look outwards. You can't point them inwards. And maybe this is why we don't know what the hell's going on inside. But, I think if we knew how we're being assessed by others and we had self-awareness, it'd be the start of a beautiful thing. I mean, it was the start of my personal development journey because, like I said, people used to say adjectives about me that weren't so nice. And I said before the podcast started, like, one of my favorite quotes is, everyone brings joy to a room either by entering it or by leaving it. So I used to bring joy to a room by exiting, not by entering. You know what I mean?
Boom! That's another value bomb. Popping bombs.
And I had to ask myself, dude, I'm tired of having this negative effects on people where no one wants to come around me. What is it about me? You know, I don't want to tell society that, I have reprehensible qualities and you need to deal with it. No, you don't. You don't have to deal with anything
No.
that I come with. Like, if I have trauma, like, and people be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going through this. Dude, I don't care about your trauma. Fix your trauma and don't be crazy around me. Because if you start affecting me negatively, like, I'm ghosting you. Like, that's how we are as people. We don't really care about their trauma. Like, we might empathize. We might feel bad. We might like cry with them a little bit, but it's like, dude, like, you're so toxic. I can't, like, you give me anxiety. You know what I mean? So I understand if you have to get away from certain people because it's too much or whatever.
Empathy, empathy is a great quality. And I think that, if more people had more empathy, we'd coexist and we'd have more unity. Now, again, empathy doesn't mean you have to agree. We all know that that's impossible. We're never always going to be in agreement with everything. We shouldn't be. How vanilla would that be, right? How boring.
Right.
Yeah. We need to have different opinions, but but having that empathy will help us, actually not I don't know, go to fist
not to destroy each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But anyway, brother, I just want to say how much I appreciate you coming on, giving us some nuggets, some value bombs, and giving us your interview today. I really appreciate it. It's been awesome. Thank you.
I thank you as well, man. I'm so glad you had me on. Like, I was definitely like taking a shot because I was like, dude, I don't know this guy. He might say no, but I'm gonna just ask anyways, man. Like,
I love it.
Definitely.
Turned out that it worked out.
Actually, I've got a question for you, and this comes from Share Bear. Yes, I try and stay away from negative people because I am one, but working on changing that.
Oh, so she's avoiding herself. I'm joking.
Too hard on yourself.
Yeah. Something for Share Bear. This might be useful. Sometimes people say, I don't care how negative it is. If it's your mother, cut her off too. And it's like, dude, it's your mom. You probably won't cut her off. Like, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's not cutting off that we need to do. Sometimes you need to talk, instead of talking 1 hour a day, maybe you should talk to them, 2 hours a month. You know what I mean?
Right,
maybe
boundaries.
Yeah, maybe you should reduce the access that they have to you. And in the meantime, you take your personal development seriously and try not to be a person that they impact upon you so negatively, because then you're always going to want to run and distance yourself. And if you work on trying to become stronger, because I used to have a roommate I couldn't stand living with. And I know this is a weird prayer, but I prayed to God for a worse roommate because I wanted to learn patience. And they say the best way to get patience is to ask to deal with annoying people. Like, they'll teach you patience for sure, but I wanted to learn how to not be disrupted by other people. Like, I don't like the idea that I entered a party, I don't like you, and you entered, and now I feel like I have to leave because you're there. I feel like you're indirectly controlling my life. I don't like that. So I want to learn how to navigate in a way where, like, you don't bother me so much that I have to leave because you entered. And I'm not saying everyone needs to think like me, because some people are very resistant towards this type of message. They're like, nah, I don't care if I hate a person, they come in their party, I'm leaving. And it's like, that's your prerogative if you want to live that way. I feel like I'm running. I don't want to run from people. So it's like, how can I master myself, my energy, where you can't impact me negatively? All that's going to happen is I'm going to impact you positively, because you have zero effect on me. So, and that's just the place that I'm at mentally. I think it's vibrating at a higher frequency and stuff. And that's just how I want to live. That's how I want to live my life, So,
I love that. I love that. How do you like that, Nick? That's awesome, isn't it?
That's awesome. And Share Bear said, yes, I try and help them to be more positive because I want to be positive, which is awesome. And I think, Share Bear, you can come, we're the world's worst to ourselves. We murder ourselves. We mutilate ourselves. We're so harsh on ourselves. It's like, I got to a point in my life now where I think, is it worth the real estate?
Yeah.
Is it worth the real estate? In other words, if I see something in them that if they could change from a real negative Debbie Downer to someone that's positive, then I'll spend the time. If not, and it's negative, and I'll give an example of that. I used to play golf. We called him Whinger because that's all he did was whinge. And to his face. And he was so bad that he would throw his golf clubs.
No, for real?
In the trees and everything.
Oh no!
But one time, he threw his clubs in anger, and it was his favorite club, and it got stuck in a tree. Well, I was on the floor laughing, and anyway, he hated it. But golf is a great leveler because it teaches you lessons harshly. And another true story is that a guy was having a really bad day, and he was on the 18th hole in one of the courses I was playing in the UK, and the ball went into this pond. And this pond was off to the left of the fairway, but it just went in. So what he did, he was so pissed, he threw his golf bag in with his clubs, he threw his trolley in, his cart, took off his golf shoes, threw them in, and golf had the last word. Because you know what? He walked down to his car, and then he went, shit, my car keys are in my golf bag. Bye. So, karma or whatever has a way always coming back. And how I stopped Whinger, as we call him, his name was Graham, but how I stopped him is I went up to him one day and I said, Graham, enough. I'm not going to tolerate it. If you start behaving like that on a golf course again, I make one promise. I grab every single club of yours, and they're not cheap, and I will throw them in the pond, and I'll walk away. And here's that. Well, I said, I'm being serious. I'm done. I'm done with it, because it's been going for a while. And he changed. He just needed that. Sometimes it is that abrupt. Yeah. And, you need to sort of like verbally say, stop, enough. Let's move on. Let's get positive. You got it there. I know you got it there. And yeah, he became a good guy, actually, once he got rid of that drama.
That's good. It's good he changed.
Crazy.
What was his name, by the way?
His name was Graham Davis, but we just called him Whinger.
Shout out to Whinger.
Whinger Davis. And when we played golf, there's like 24 of us guys. We all played golf together. We used to go away for 2 weeks and things like that. And we dreaded playing with him because it could ruin your golf game. You could start off really good, but if you're hearing it hole after hole,
it has an effect.
It pulls you down. It drains you. And we just said, no more.
Right.
It's not worthwhile.
No. And he credit to him. I mean, he's changed and he's an outstanding guy now, but he just had to go through that process.
Right. Yeah.
And it wasn't just.
Yeah. And I think as humans, we're always learning that, because his biggest lesson is handling not getting your way. A lot of us overreact to not getting our way, and we just don't know how to handle it. And we start mistreating others. We start talking to people like crap. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if you ever had someone, they call your phone and they call 3 times in a row, and then they text you like, why the hell you didn't answer? And it's like, dude, that doesn't compel. You're making you make, you know what I mean? Right. You're making it seem like I have to. I saw a video the other day. It was like, it's human psychology 101. The more I lean into you, the more you lean out. The more you lean out, the more I lean in. So salesmen, a lot of desperate salesmen, we know they end up in our inbox. They lean in way too much. That's why we lean out. But if they were to lean out, if they didn't care about getting a sale and they just post the results or other people's results, we would gravitate towards them because they're living abundantly. Even if they haven't made a sale yet, it'd be like, wow, like, you're not desperate. I like you. You know what I mean? Like,
well said.
No, it's true. I mean, in life, if you come across desperate, it's like, when you have a breakup from a girlfriend in your younger days, I'm not saying all, but you get a lot of interest. But when you're playing the game and you're looking, there's no interest because of that mental attitude of I'm not interested. And then it's like, But it is what it is. Life, right? Life's rich tapestry.
Right. It's awesome. Yeah.
That life, it is something. It's kind of like a big sort of story that we create, and the narrative changes. But when we try to control it too much, just like you're saying, Robbie, then there's resistance, right? If you try to control that narrative too much, and sometimes if you just see what that story, how it's developing, and then react to it, it's much better than just trying to control it all.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, we could only really, one of my favorite quotes is like, try changing yourself, see how difficult that is. Once you realize how difficult that is, maybe then you'll see what little change you have in trying to change another. And
Absolutely.
it's just so, man, I've
deep.
tried to change my, here's some things that I've struggled with. I've lost $30,000 gambling, and it's like I've really tried to like get away from that and change that. And it's like, dang, I can't even fix me. Like you know what I mean? So it's like this is why, like, when I give motivational speeches or when I talk to my friends, I'm never like, you have to do it this way. It's never no control stuff. I'm just gently saying what's on my mind, what's on my heart. It's always out of love, out of concern. If you chose to go left instead of right, I won't call you an idiot. And when you come back to me saying, Rob, I should have listened, I'm not gonna say I told you so, because I hate when people do that. It's like, how does that help me now? Yeah, you did tell me, but like it's like kicking someone while they're down. We just want to gloat about being right. It's like, all right, dude, you was right. What do you want, a cookie or something? Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't help me now that you're suffering. Now you're rubbing it in that
I know. I told you so.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I make sure to never do that to my friends. And when I read the book of Genesis, if you don't mind me going through, like, I guess, Bible stories that inspire me, but in Genesis, when he gives them the options of doing the right thing or the wrong thing, he's like, look, you make this decision. Like, here's the decision I'd like you to make. Here's the decision I'd rather you not make. The consequences, pros and cons of both sides, whatever. He basically left the garden. He wasn't even there when they did the wrong thing, and he comes back to a mess. You know what I mean? But I just love how God wasn't peeking through the blinds. He wasn't checking, trying to force them to be righteous. He really said that there's two doors you could potentially walk through. I trust you. I love you. I give dominion to you. You walk whatever door you want to walk through. There's a door I'd rather you not walk through, but at the end of the day, you have free will. And it's like, if that's how God talked to his creations, then maybe we should talk to each other in a similar fashion. And maybe there wouldn't be so much resistance towards our message if only we stop using words like you must, you ought to, you have to. It's like, stop talking to people like you're their parent. Sometimes we helicopter parent over each other, over people, and we wonder why there's so much resistance to our message. And we're like, yeah, and then we get negative. We're like, dude, like, why are you mad at me for loving you? And it's like, because they think your love is disgusting, dude. They don't want it. Like, anything that people perceive as disgusting, you think they're going to happily receive it? No, they're going to happily reject it, like, and stay far the hell away from it. You know what I mean? So, and my favorite story to tell from the Bible is actually the Cain and Abel story. I worked with kids in a before and after school program, kids between the age of 6 and like 11. And some of them hated each other. Some of them didn't really have no friends, don't really know how to get along. And I was teaching them accountability. I was teaching them, like, look to yourself. Look at what you're doing. Like, you behave in a manner that kids don't want to come around you because you're yelling, you're fighting, you're screaming because they won't pass you the ball. If you scream at someone because they won't pass you the ball, does that make them want to pass you the ball? Or just, they're like, no, it doesn't. It makes me, if it was me, I wouldn't pass it to them either. And it's like, all right. So now you have a hint, you have some insight. If you received the behavior you give to others, you wouldn't be so welcome of that behavior. So why should they accept it? So I really try hard to teach them self-awareness, and it's hard to teach kids because, kids, man, everything is someone else's fault.
Oh,
so
right.
And what's funny about adults, we're not that much different. Even as adults, everything is someone else's fault. You know what I mean? So
true.
Yeah. And so we grow up to be 40 years old, and it's crazy how we're still the same as when we were 7.
We're still that inner child, right?
But the story, when I left my job, temporarily, I took a leave of absence, and I told the kids the Cain and Abel story, which is, Cain wasn't doing so well, and his reward, his sacrifices was not being honored by God. And he has his brother Abel doing exceptionally well. Like, God is like pretty much singing his praises, and just the whole world loves Abel and stuff. And Cain, in his jealousy, he talks to God, and he's frustrated. He's like, dude, like, I'm sacrificing too, but they seem to be not valuable. And God really tells him to look to himself. Like, and he asks him a question like, if you performed well, would you not be rewarded? Like, there's not I haven't structured the universe in a way that it has a personal vendetta against you. If you manifest the correct behaviors, you would be on the receiving end of a reward, potentially, if only you modify your behavior. It's not that, you can't sacrifice. You can't take low-level sacrifice and expect a high-level reward, because that's not how the universe is structured. So the sad part, unfortunately, many people know how the story ended. Cain slayed his brother out of jealousy because he's doing better than him. And I think ideally it would have been like, it's like if Abel is the ideal, okay, you slay your ideal, but then what? Like, what are you going to replace it with? Because like, you're still a complete mess. You're still not doing well. Like, killing someone doing better than you doesn't elevate you. And I think we'd be better suited if we study people like Abel, and we study like, dude, like, He should have took his brother aside. Like, God really seems to favor you and like you way more than me. Like, teach me how to garner that same level of respect from God. Like, how can I get on the same level? Like, I don't want my sacrifices to go ignored. I don't want to, please, like, brother, yo, Abel would have helped him. He would have given him
Absolutely.
advice.
Absolutely.
When people are succeeding, I don't think we're like greedy, like hoarders that want to like hide the wealth or hide the knowledge and not share or teach anyone. That's the perception. A lot of people think rich people are greedy and don't want to share the sauce, but it's like, the first thing we want to do is find someone that's eligible to leave a legacy for their family as well. And there's no greater feeling than someone saying, hey, I'm doing better because of you. Like, why would we rob ourselves the opportunity to have these type of testimonies with other people? So I always tell people, like, study people that are doing better than you. I told these kids the same message. I was like, you have trouble getting friends. There's someone standing right next to you that they have all the friends and they don't have the same troubles that you do. Study their character. Maybe if you inhibit some of their traits into you, you'll have a desired outcome, but you won't get your desired outcome in your current form because you know what it's like to be you currently and you don't get any desired outcome. So instead of forcing, like, trying to continue to be yourself and forcing the universe to be accommodating to that, why don't you level up and upgrade your character? You know what I'm saying? And the last thing that I'll end on this rant. Sorry it's so long, but for those of you that play video games, it's crazy how we'll play Grand Theft Auto and we'll level out our character to the max. We got we'll play any video game and it's like strength meter is 100%, speed 100%, endurance 100%, your life bar 100%, but then your character in real life, you do nothing to try to upgrade. In GTA, we'll buy every vehicle. We have every car. We have all the property. We have, you know what I'm saying? But then in real life, our car is broken. It's dude, like, what's going on? Like, you'll upgrade your GTA character, but you won't upgrade your real life character. And it's like, we go to a virtual reality world as a form of escapism because we don't like the life that we're living. But it's way better to try to create a life that you enjoy living than to constantly escape from what you consider to be a nightmare. You know what I mean? So it's important to develop personal character more than, but we're more willing to develop our virtual character for whatever reason, so maybe we don't have faith in our personal character, but so yeah,
it's an interesting perspective. Yeah.
It's a good analogy if you think about it in life, how we'll invest in some things, but we won't invest in ourselves. Which is the critical thing, because if we had two bodies and one invested in ourselves and one played and invested in the video games, and then just did a here I am and did a comparison of how happy they are, from I've reached certain level in the gaming to what I've done for myself and my family,
right,
and this and that. It's a whole different.
It's crazy. It's almost like, okay, dude, you passed the video game, but you failed your life.
True. I have constant discussions with my teenage daughter at university, and when she makes a mistake, I tell her, I said, if I see a huge mistake, I will interfere because I don't want you to. I just see a lot of pain, and I will stop that.
Yeah.
Everything else, I just say to her, okay, we discuss it. We discuss it. And then I say, what did you learn from that? And just take that lesson and use it in life.
Yeah.
And then think about it before you open your mouth or you do this action or that action, so that you learn and you prove that you learn. Because if you keep repeating, then it's a problem.
Speaking of repeating, why do you keep on going? What's going on, Nick? What do you?
Because you can't make a decision whether you want to go below or on top.
Who's taking the top bunk?
Yeah.
I used to love bunk beds as a kid, man. I always
me too. Yeah. My twin brother and I, we had bunk beds.
Awesome.
Well, with siblings, that's nothing but warfare in the bunk bed.
It is.
Yeah, exactly. Feet going up.
You awake?
Suddenly your body goes by you in the middle of the night. Yeah, I succeeded.
Well, anyway, so again, we've certainly had a lot of good, positive vibes, a lot of value bombs, and I just, as we end the show, I just want to again give you praise. I want to send you flowers, so to speak, and just say It's been an honor, and I want to thank you for
Absolutely.
coming on.
There's been some nuggets. Oh my
Yeah.
God, some nuggets.
Nick, it's good to finally meet you, man. It's good to
And
meet you.
you. And you. And you're up in the Poconos, you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah. I'm in East Stroudsburg right now, Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Peace. All right.
That's a really nice area. I looked for a bed and breakfast around that area some time ago.
Right.
Let's see if it'll work for you.
Nice.
Rob, do this. Do the peace sign.
You got it.
It's not working. Oh my gosh.
What?
It's Restream is supposed to do something when you do that. Do the heart.
The heart.
Yeah.
Give me a second. I gotta like position my phone.
All right, there we go. Look, it did it.
Did it?
Maybe
I can't.
maybe it's the creator.
Did you see it?
Hold on.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
maybe just as a creator it does it.
Yeah.
Everyone else.
I don't have anything to position my phone. I do apologize.
It's all right.
Sorry.
It's all good.
I can't really. Yeah.
No worries. No worries.
Hey, I hope you guys enjoy this podcast.
For sure.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Always
So,
good.
This will be on YouTube, but I'm going to upload it to Spotify so people can listen to it on my podcast on Spotify later. But seriously, mad love and respect, bro. Thank you.
No problem, man. Maybe hopefully, I'm hoping that this is the episode that goes viral. Who knows with podcasting? It always happens randomly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Just keep manifesting that 20K for us. That
20K a month. Let's go. 30.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh!
65,000 a year. Let's go.
All right. Thank you,
all
my
of
brother.
us. All of us.
Thank you.
Have a
All
great
right.
one.
Have a good
Take
evening,
care,
man.
man.
And
You too.
you.
Well,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. What a great guest. I just love his personality. I do. Very positive, but also understands that he has flaws and he's willing to work on things and develop. Very
Right.
just a great interview, brother. Loved it.
It was. It's actually, pretty serious for us, but there's no like spitting tea or very big jokes or, we actually showed our intelligence side.
Yeah, we're multifaceted, you know?
So we've got to take a month off now.
Yeah. We've shown a different side.
Hey!
Not our backside, but a different side. Not a full moon, but a different side.
So, oh dear.
All right. Well,
That was awesome.
thank you, man. Thanks for co-hosting with me. We'll do another live tomorrow on TikTok, but thank you everybody who can hear me from his TikTok. Thanks for listening and commenting and giving us support. Thank you.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely. Thanks for coming through on the TikTok live. It's been good. Feel very humbled, and thank you, Share Bear, for all your comments. And Rod, of course, being faithful to the end.
Rock and Rod! Thank you.
He's been doing a lot of cooking, so thank you very much for that. So, but yeah, no, awesome. I enjoyed that. There was some nuggets. There was some good nuggets in there.
Very good gems in there. Very good.
I think, Share Bear, you made some very valid comments in there, which I really, appreciate you being involved as well. And just with regards to your last comment where you say you just sit there for a minute and just reevaluate and look at the good. I think it speaks volumes about yourself. I also think it means that, you just think about things, but don't let things get you down. That's all I'll say to you is because, I don't know the full story or anything like that, but don't let things, get you down. Just keep striving. As I said earlier in the construction business, it took me a year, but I never gave up. And that's the difference. Don't give up. You've got
Persevere.
Your person's out there and your people are out there. So just keep going. Don't listen to any naysayers. Just do your thing and you'll be fine.
I'm not looking down on you, Nick, when you say that. I think that it can come across
by
that
the size
way.
of my mic.
I'm not looking down at you. I'm not, even though your screen's really small right now. I'm not.
Here we go.
There we go. There we go. But, all right. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Shebe, thank you. Really,
thank
really
you, everyone.
All right.
All right. Where we go? Here we go. Here we
what
go.
What do I need to do with this? Do I need to do anything, or you?
No worries,
shut me
man.
out?
I'll put you aside, and then I'm gonna do a video outro, and we'll call it good. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thanks for your support. Thank you for making this such a success. And let's see if I can find. There we go. The video outro. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. It's underneath my folder. There it is. All right. Video outro. Boom!
Feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway, and in the driveway.